So we were just solving the talk box and we're going to the history of it. Talk box is flawlessly Father. So this is so cool.
Yeah, come on.
I so need to use one of those someday. Oh boy, I'm in love. Okay, so the talk box is flawlessly Father, where the number of plus twos is exactly 3, just like in Father, the name above all names, as in God the Father, for those just joining us. And a single plus 1, which is A. And then we're going into the history of this, and then the rest of the letters divide by 3. Okay, so that's how Father takes the glory for the talk box. And of course you can add the word the in front to get more 3s in there. So talk box. Same digits as Father, okay? Father equals 58, talk box 85. They differ by 3 times 3 times 3 to the glory of the Trinity at large. So you heard it here first, folks. So add the word the in front, now it becomes an even offset from Father. Now the talk box equals perfectly Holy Father, okay, as in God, the greatest person in the universe. So now I'm pleased to go into the history of the talk box and see what else God ordained for our pleasure and his pleasure, okay? So I'm seeing a name Peter here, Peter Frampton. Peter is plus 1 for Father. Who, the history. Wow, 1939. There's an obvious plus 1 year because 939 all divided by 3 and 1 is 1. And Alvino is plus 1, Alvino Ray. And as it came out of my mouth, Alvino Ray is plus 1 for Father. In fact, it's 3 points higher than Holy Father. Alvino, that's just a rare, gorgeous name. Equals number. Letters and strokes divided by 3, just like in Father, 6 letters. Amateur radio operator. Used a carbon throat microphone wired in such a way as to modulate his electric steel guitar sound. Mic is plus 1. Originally developed for military on the throat of Way's, was placed on the throat of Way's wife. He's king, one of the king's sisters, who stood behind a curtain and mouthed the words along with the guitar line. The novel sounding combination was called singing guitar. Well, sing and guitar are both plus 1 for Father, and employed on stage plus 1, and in the movie jam session as a novelty attraction, but was not developed further. Oh, Fender, such a huge guitar company. Fender is flawless for Father. Fender, like, it even sounds like Father. That's a huge one. Fender. Huge. Sonovox is another plus 1. In fact, Sonovox equals Happy Father, 66. And then comes along Gilbert, who is plus 1, and his last name is Wright plus 1, as in the Wright brothers. In fact, Wright equals talk box. Okay. And then Peter comes along, plus 1. And then the bag also works for plus 1. Okay. We've seen enough, you get the idea. Even Bob is plus 1. Huh? Wow, there's a ton of history on it. And everyone's been getting a piece of it since. Well, that was fun. That's so cool. And first and last name are plus 1 for him. Heels at center Father. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so we dug into the history of that. And then The talk box. Okay. So we scooped up some gems in the history, and you can get more. But that's the gist of it. That one's really satisfying to just watch a couple of videos on. So the talk box was solved. So we're solving things in voice land. Isn't that amazing? Wow. The talk box. That's so cool. And I'm curious as always. Yeah, the ending is +1. Okay. That's so cool. Even the ending, you know, is plus 12 there, or -6 there. Okay. So Father gets the last word because it ends in the +1. And very beautifully. That's -6 from Father, and then if you add the L, then it becomes +6 from Father. So perfectly on either side of Father. Okay, so we solved your larynx. And vocal cords. Okay, so there you go. Sound is generated in the larynx. So of course sound is +1. Pop off 15 for Father. You get the famous SUR, and I've been getting these all over the place. Like the end of all the words in dinosaurs is Russ, and I went to Toys R Us the other day. But SUR and sound equals Father. SUND, same thing. ND is an R. 18. So sound +1 Father. Larynx. Sound is generated in the larynx, which is where pitch and volume are. And lungs also. And then lungs equals sound as well, also contributes to loudness. It's used to generate. Let's just do the vocal tract. Even the vocal tract, just like vocal cords, is +1. So, and you can find a lot of cool things. Like, oh, I see +1 in the center. There's a gorgeous 52. Wow, vocal cords, yeah. And the vocal cords equals the greatest commandment, love Father. Yeah, and I saw that centrality there, 52. Okay. And this is 3 points higher. Amazing. What a miracle. It's all offsets of 3s from the Father. And then you also get +1s. This also makes beautiful +1s in the center. Like this is Father -3, and this is Father -6. Okay, so that glory of glories, both words end in the same thing and begin in the same thing. That's a miracle. That's ordained. So you see how we found Father? Mathematically, the parallelism of Father was sitting in the dead center of vocal tract and vocal cords. Same number of letters as well. Vocal tract, vocal cords. And that's a miracle to me that CT equals DS. C is 1 point off from D, T is 1 point off from S in the opposite direction for perfect equivalence. So that Father is at the dead center of your vocal cords, at the dead center of your vocal tract, just like he was at the dead center of your larynx. And a lot of common letters there, you know, a T and an A, an R. C and L divided by 3. And, I would, letters that divide by 3A, and then the word the is sitting on top of that. Because this is 3 points less. I would state the obvious to what's common in both. Excuse me. An A is an A in the same position in both of these. The first letter divides by 3, being 3 and double 3, respectively. And then why not just mention that an R is an R? And then, yeah, and then what's left over up here equals the, LTA equals the perfectly, with the bonus truth that a T is a T and LA equals an HE. That's amazing. Okay, that was screamingly obvious. And then down here, it just differs by 3 flawlessly. LCO equals 30 and the equals 33. A miracle, as always. So there's Father at the center of vocal tract and vocal cords. What other words lie within vocal tract? Position of the tongue, lips, mouth, and pharynx. Yeah. And I like lips and tongue as a Jesus Father combo. Put them together, you get 3s. And then so is mouth and pharynx. So if I was to put together all 4 of these body parts, you get a beautiful 3-fest. I knew it was going to be beautiful. It equals 3, 2, 1 perfectly. The ones that are +1 are the tongue and the pharynx for Father. Mouth equals Christ, okay, and is flawless in its design for Christ, with the 2 + 2s, 1 + 1, and it equals power. And then lips parallels Christ and Jesus. Most accurately, I would say Jesus with the soft +1s, and it's -18, an offset of 6 from Jesus. But and then so you put Jesus and Father together, and it always makes beautiful 3s. In fact, these equal the same digits. I'll go extra deep for you. Those 2 together equals that, and then these 2 together equals the same digits, okay? So if I could put them parallel, and then all together, they make the famous 3, 2, 1. But it's Father plus Jesus together, okay? Same digits, 1, 3, 8, 1, 8, 3. It always makes beautiful 3s when you put them together for the Trinity at large. Okay, the process of alternation. So other +1 words: filter, the filter of the vocal tract. Sound is generated in the larynx, and so we found Father at the center of larynx. That was massive. A massive find for theology. Sound is generated in the larynx. And then sound contains Father, remember that. And then waves. I had the word waves come to me the other day when I was standing in the sun. Waves is flawless for Father. Waves equals 70. We preached on that before. And then sound is 73, 3 points higher. Good night. Okay. Yeah, waves is gorgeous. The bookends makes a multiple of 6, just like in Father. The AE is in the same position as in Father. And then the V at the dead center of waves differs from the TH at the center of Father by 6 exactly, okay? So there's the flawlessness of Father owning all waves, which is, of course, an even higher word than the word sound waves, because you can have light waves, apparently, and liquid waves, but sound waves, okay? Father owns all waves, owns all sound. Reverb came to my mind. Reverb is flawless reverberations, and how about vibrate? Vibration will be +1. Vibration. You can. Reverb equals 70 as well. Okay, flawless in its design. Reverb is just, so 3 + 2s, single +1, 2 letters that divide by 6, just like in Father. It's amazing. Reverb, okay. Pitch and volume. The strength function of the lungs also contributes to loudness. So you got all these +1s. Lungs is in there. Lungs equals sound. This is the human voice, folks. This is the king, the spoken word. Prophets and teachers throughout the ages, of course. Christ, God incarnate, being the greatest of all. But it's all for the Father. And where the pitch, of course, pitch parallels Christ. Wow, we just saw that. Pitch equals lips. So you see how these Christ combos, okay, knit together with the Father, like pitch and volume, okay, just like lips and tongue, okay. So pitch equals lips. Pitch gets married with volume, which is Father. Lips gets married with tongue, which is Father. They share a lot of same letters, volume and tongue. Okay. And so then you get a beautiful 3 fest, both divided by 6, differing by 6. But so the larynx, that was cool. Pitch and volume, the strength of expiration. Oh yeah, and then loud is +1, just like loud is a volume. Generating source sound with a particular fundamental frequency or pitch. The source sound is, and then source sound will maintain +1s. So is altered as it travels through the vocal tract. We solved. What is classified as the vocal tract? Cavity in human beings, where sound that is produced in the sound source. So the sound source is flawless +1 for father. It's the sound. And wow, that's -1 from father at the center, flanked. Oh, now in birds it's called the syrinx. Well, that's also +1. Sweet, we're solving the bird. Wow, and of course filtered is find father and filter. A sound filter. I'm in audio land, man. All right, let's roll with it. So filter -12. Filter, I mean, come on, it sounds like father. Like, this is so glaring at this point. Filter, father. Filter, father. Put a sound filter on that to the glory of the father. Let's get funky. Okay, put a filter on it. Okay, so an F and an ER. I don't know what else to say. This one is just handing it to me. So an A plus an H is 1 + 8 = 9. I mean, it doesn't get any better. You know, father owning every filter. You get a little high-pitched squeal. Okay, I'm putting a filter on my voice. So the L provides bonus 6s. Good night. Filter, sound filter. Oh yeah. So, and this whole thing called sound generation. Generation is double love. You know, so sound generation maintains father +1. So through the vocal tract, oh, this is so good. We're solving my favorite thing, the human voice, practically. One of my favorite things. So the vocal tract just killed it for father. And now when you say the vocal tract, number of +2s outdoes +1s by 2 exactly, just like in father. There's a cavity in human, where sound that is produced at the sound source, larynx we solved. The bird, it's called the syrinx, is the vocal organ of birds. Never seen by man until now. That syrinx is +1 for father. Wow. Man. Oh man. Flute is +1. Some of the earliest invention. Ay caramba. Like pan and pipe are both +1. So pan pipes is a father, 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 triple. Like pan flute is a +1, +1. I mean, this is going to the natives, man. First century, the flute. I mean, the flute is like one of the oldest, most ancient. So flute, just like pipe, is +1. Like, this is going way back. I mean, this is the original. Okay. Okay, so flute, pan flute. Okay, we got that pan. Oh man, that was easy. They are considered to be the first mouth organ, ancestor of both the pipe organ and the harmonica. Oh my gosh, well, we went to the root there. But syrinx. And then I bet you can find father in trachea. Oh, it's 56. Okay, right, those. So songbird will be +1, of course. 88. Wow. So all bird sound originates in the syrinx. the vocal organ of birds. And of course, organ is +1, just like vocal. Or no, vocal and it's together, right? Vocal organ is double love. See how vocal parallels Jesus, organ is Father. Put them together, you get double love perfectly. But let's take a look at the Syrinx for birds. And then we'll get back to, so Syrinx, can you find Father? And I add the word the, because then the number of +2s exceeds +1s by 2 exactly. And that's perfect, because now when you add the word the, now you've just added 1 letter to each category to get 9 letters, paralleling what God ordained in Father. Okay, so, and then the offset is in 6s. In fact, it's 142. And Father is 58, 42 less than 100. So literally you can write this very obvious equation for the Trinity. Okay, the Syrinx. But you've just added 1 letter to each category. You've added a +2, a +1, and a letter that divides by 3 to parallel Father in the Syrinx. And then I like to find Father exactly, because it's just mind-blowing wherever it exists. And so, where will we find it? I knew that was multiple. There's 52. What would you need to pop? Wow, it's a very high set of letters. Let's just try popping off some stuff and just see where how high are we with this? There's one example. Wow, WIX, a very tidy package to get Father. Oh, it's a perfect hopscotch. So there's Father in Syrinx, 58. There's one example of it. And that's cool because, you know, the Y equals the TE, the X equals the FR. Like, that is so cool because you just did it in half the letters that Father does it. So there's your official, that's mind-blowingly cool. So there's your official Father in Syrinx. Very tidily done. Every pair of letters in Father equal to single letter in Syrinx. That makes it, and you get the 3's on top with 33 plus 18. So there's one example. Now you could add the word the and check out that. Ooh, yeah, I see more. And you can pop off the R for 18 and bind these two words together, 49. Okay, pretty glaring. I like printing. I want to put the bookends together. 643, you'd need another 50. Okay. Okay, so we solved the Syrinx, the Larynx. So that's how the bird chirps, folks. The Syrinx for the Father. That's how the bird chirps. Unlike the Larynx, the Syrinx it's amazing to me when you compare Larynx and Syrinx to get more confirmation. The letters they share are right here, which makes screaming 3's. In fact, it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then an S differs from an A by 18, there's the +1, and then L differs from an I by 3. pretty obvious. But what's very cool is that +1 in Father is the A, of course, and so it's offsets of 6's. The S is 666 from the A, okay? Very obvious. Unlike the larynx of mammals, the syrinx is located where the trachea forks into the lungs. Thus, lateralization of birdsong is possible, and some songbirds can produce more than one sound at a time. Really? Some species lack a syrinx and communicate through throaty hisses. Well, that'll make you appreciate the syrinx more. It's like, do you want birds everywhere just hissing at you, or do you want them to sing? I want them to sing, so thank God for the syrinx today. Another word, labia. Birds regulate the airflow. Through the syrinx with muscle we've solved. Wow. Cool. So you have the medial and the lateral. Basically, that's the left and the right. From what I understand. Medial is the left and the right. Or internal and external. Oh, yeah, internal. Oh, yeah, closer to the midline of the body. Right. Even sinister and dexter knit together to divide by 3, just like left and right. Okay, that's fun. So what is that? Okay, that's, well, we can get more of that later, I suppose. Oh, the Syrinx was solved. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, beak. Beak, +1. Add the word the beak. Even that is +1, the laryngeal cavity. Cool. Okay, so we solved some of the biggest words in vocalization and speech. In the vocal tract and tongue. We solved the larynx and... So the larynx is on top of the trachea, so according to this diagram. And so I like preaching these Father-Jesus combo. Larynx is on top. Yeah. Larynx, and then Jesus is beneath. And so put the two together and it divides by 3. But larynx is Father. That's so cool. So Father at the center of larynx. And then you can solve other... I've solved the word cartilage. Ooh, cartilage equals... Oh my gosh, cartilage is +18 from Father. Larynx was +36. Yeah, you can easily find a Father in there. Cartilage. Love on the end. Oh boy. Like cartilage and muscle. Oh my gosh, they differ by 3. Ay caramba, that's glaring. But it's all +1 for Father. Muscle, cartilage. Okay. The larynx. The voice box, the talk box. Ooh, the vestibule is the end of the line for your nose. The vestibule. It's right, it's the last space before the outer door of a building. The entrance hall. The entrance, the vestibule, the lobby. Yeah, so this is huge for Father. The central cavity of the labyrinth of the inner ear, the part of the mouth outside the teeth. Part of the mouth outside The teeth. Okay. The vestibule. Vestibule. +2s exceeds +1s by 2 exactly. Rest letters divide by 3. Good night. Vestibule. Father. Okay. Well, that's huge. Oh, man. Man, now you have text to speech, which is also +1. Okay.
SJ snabbtåg 540 mot Norrköping.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog 1,234,567,890 times. Swath.
Oh boy. Okay, the voice. Oh boy. Okay. I always like poking around at the center of words. Yeah, there's a +1 there in the center. Okay. Okay. Speech synthesis vestibule. Okay. And then that's fun solving the pan flute. Okay. We did a lot there in this was, I mean, I could listen to a talk box. Pan flute. First mouth organ. Crazy. Wow. So harmonica is +1, just like flute, just like pipe, just like organ. So these are all the earliest instruments known to man. Solved for father. Wow. Wow. And so that's what you call a harmonica rack. Father's on top. So harmonica is +1, just like, and then rack maintains the offset. The spoken word. The harmonica and the flute have been solved. I would like to, and then you can, okay, just, and then the more you look, the more you see. You know, you can find father like verbatim. You need to pop off 24 points. You can do it easily. I-O is one example. I always like checking the ends. 55 right there. And the center. There's Jehovah at the center, and love and all that. Okay, pretty sweet. I mean, harmony and harmonica are both +1 for father. Oh boy. Even beeswax is +1. In fact, it's 3 off from pan. Every time the pitch goes up 1 octave, the frequency doubles. Wow. Cool. so cool. So simple. Wow. So it's all perfect math to make the perfect frequencies based on perfect length and diameter. And then so whole. That's amazing. The flutes. Okay. All right. Okay, that was insane. Syrinx, we saw CQ and I. Oh yeah, worker bees, that works. Worker bees, just like workers, yeah. +1 for father. Worker bees, just like angels, is flawless for father. I love solving like fun. Well, beeswax has been solved. +2s exceeds +1s by. There's love at the front. Okay. A watt. Alright. A watt equals father. Crazy. Oh boy, so another word for flute. Okay, well, back to the human body. That was the most important thing. And then we got onto talk box. How do we get onto talk box? We're looking at voice box and stuff. So yeah, the vocal tract, okay. And then we were looking in particular at the larynx and sound production. Okay. That's crazy. Hmm. So vocal folds is another, so the vocal folds, just like the vocal cords, is a very obvious similarity. Because folds and chords, I mean, use the same, like all these letters divide by 3, it's just glaring. So of course those differ by 3, but it's all offset from father. So father owns the vocal folds, he owns the vocal cords. And he owns the vocal tract. So let's get that on there, because I marveled at how the ending, and then this all divided by 3, and this ending equaled the same thing. Very obvious, like a C went up 1 to a D, T came down 1 to an S, equivalence. So it's just perfect. The vocal tract, the vocal cords, the vocal folds, all of these parallel father. In fact, they go up in 3s. Wow, there you go. If you waited this long, you got a real beautiful feast. Look at this. Anyone of any sort will appreciate this perfection. Okay, look at that. Okay, let's just get this on its own page here. So there you go. All of these parallel father perfectly going up in 3s. The vocal folds, the vocal cords, the vocal tract, because obviously it's the final, and it's a 3-2-1 combo. This divides by 3, this divides by 2, this is +1, father gets the last word. Oh no, sorry, this is +2, right? This gets together with this, right? To make the +1. So all of these famous strings to refer to the human voice in particular for this discussion. This is equals Father plus 84, and then the rest obviously just go up 3 points apiece. And as you find Father individually, 87 equals truth. Then you will be even more amazed. We already did that when we looked at vocal folds and vocal chords. Vocal chords in particular. Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously it's the center that is, it's these three letters that are just differing to make the value go up. That's obviously 39, 36. But when you extend to push, into a centrality for the Father, you see that's exactly 3 points less than Father, the dead center, okay? And then this goes 3 points down from that. Very obvious, isn't it? And then this goes 3 points down from that, okay? But you clearly see how Father, in its offset, in 6 letters, at the dead center, is at the dead center, mathematically, of the vocal tract, vocal cords, and vocal folds. And those are the biggest names to describe how I'm making words with my mouth right now. I'm speaking by means of the God-ordained vocal tract, vocal cords, and vocal folds that I have. But it's all to the glory of God the Father. And then, so I'm curious, this VODS, this bookending of that. Oh yeah, I knew it was going to be a beautiful 3-fest, but it's 60 bang on the nose, which equals holy. Okay, but obvious. And then Father, by way of review, is totally flanked in 60. It's 6s, like F is 6, R is 666, the AE makes 6. So Father's flanked in 30. And that central-wise, the dead center Father is what provides the +1 offset, being 28, okay? Just like I've painted here in vocal folds, vocal cords. So if I was to paint this blue, just for completeness sake, that now parallels, what you see in the letters of Father. Okay, so enough said. Very, very flawless. But the word holy is literally wrapping up this centrality here. Wow. So cool. And more details, like you can, and then an S and an HL differ by 1, and a VD differs from the Y by 1, and O equals an O. It's like very screaming. So vocal, that's just awesome. That is awesome. There you go. Father, the name above all names. Wow! That is the name that we serve. God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, and the Holy Ghost. There you go. So any other, and then I might treat myself to a little talk box in the midst of this fine glory, because we solved the talk box.
This is Mayhem. I'm going to give you a little funky Roger and Zap medley with some stuff of my own, maybe a little freestyle or whatever. It's a little...
All right, I'm already happy. Okay. Woo, okay. So yeah, we were solving more terms in the talk box. All right. Not nearly as good as the larynx. Okay, which is the root of it all. Okay. So sound is generated in the larynx. So we solved a lot of these terms. Passes through the filter of the vocal tract, creates many different vowel. Vowel equals Christ. And see, this is precisely the kind of glory I'm talking about. Vowel equals Christ and is flawless in its design letter for letter. We have 2 plus 2s, a single plus 1, rest letters divided by 3. And then consonant is flawless in its design for Father, where the number of plus 2s exceeds the number of plus 1s by 1 exactly, and the rest letters divided by 3. Okay? Well, when you put the two together, it's going to make a very gorgeous 3-fest. And this is what I've seen all over the place. But Christ plus Father together, vowel plus consonant, like I said, flawlessly beautiful, equals the famous 192, 8 times 888, 8 times 24. And it's like chain linked and bookended together, like V, now the bookends make a multiple of 6, and then the L hooks up with the C in the center to make multiples of 3, and it's all very ordained. So, amazing, okay? And, that's interesting. I never, so consonant, it provides the +1 for father. Typically, the last letter in most words is a consonant, like especially the word father. And certainly the words Jesus and Christ, Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, Amen, like famous last words, even the word, the word last. The last letter of most famous last words is a consonant. And I've been getting that word from the Lord that Father gets the last word. So, okay, so consonant is +1 Father, vowel equals Christ. Father traditionally gets, even the word vowel ends in a consonant, and the word consonant ends in a consonant. Okay, Father gets the last word. And they both start with consonants. I do believe that an overwhelming majority of English words start and end with a consonant. That's just mathematically likely. And then I like poking around, seeing what's at the center, and lots of threes there. I mean, if you spend enough time, you can find Father exactly and do more cool things. Wow. In males, they have longer, right, lower pitch. So phonation is another key word that I saw as flawless for father, and then you can just scoop up more. We got the big gems. I love the fact that the word two equals father. Okay. I've hit the big words. I've laid the foundation. Ooh, I love diagrams. Makes it nice and satisfying too. So phonation is the process. This is so cool how father gets the last word. So shun equals father. Phonation is love father. So this is amazing. Phonation equals the greatest commandment. Love father in order. That's a big gem. Get that on the mind table. Phonation. Why did I do that twice? Phonation equals love father, the greatest commandment. In order. In order, with the famous shun, and phona equals love. So what is phonation? Well, it's how we make words and sounds. Phoneticians plus phonation is the process by which the vocal folds we solve produce certain sounds through quasi-periodic vibration. It's basically the process by which I am making sounds. This is the definition used among those who study laryngeal anatomy, physics, and speech. Oh, call this process voicing. I had that word come to me the other day. Voicing, just like juicing, it's the root that provides the +1, okay? Voicing, juicing, just another example. But voicing, flawless for father. Voice, okay? And it starts with father. Voice, yeah, voicing, aha. Yeah, so voicing +1, phonation. And you use the term phonation to refer to any oscillatory state of any part of the larynx that modifies the airstream, of which voicing is just one example. So if I go, that's an example of phonation. Cool. Register. Okay. Avoid voicing. And it's based on the word phone, which equals father. Right. Okay. You get the idea. We hit that one really well. And then so phonetics is father plus more threes on the end. Enough said. Voiced, encoding, voiceless. Adam's apple. Where is he? Okay. Oh yeah, we solved the Adam's apple. Allow me to get Adam's apple on the table for father, just as a review. There's your AE in father, 6 bookends. It equals the great 88. Gorgeous 3s inside and out. PL equals father. You can... based on the word Adam, who is the first father, 19. Ay. Yeah, that's glaring. I always like checking around for symmetry and stuff. And there's a lovely 49. You need another 9 points. So yeah, you can get a father, just bang, and then the DE, and then the rest makes your bonus 30. So there's one example of finding father. But Adam's apple at the top and in the center, father. That's amazing, the Adam's apple. Adam's apple is so amazing because all of these letters are plus 1s. Like, and then there's 1 plus 2 on the end, and one letter that divides by 3.